Hey, I'm Moe Choice. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoy it. If you're watching this, chances are you're in a 50-50 co-founder relationship. Very exciting, very rewarding when it works out, and very challenging when it doesn't. What we want to talk about is how to ensure it's 50-50 on paper and in reality. So let's start with the desires, right? As co-founders, let's separate us from co-founders to individuals, because at the end of the day, there is an I in this team, right? I am a co-founder and I'm an individual and I have my version of success. And what I want to do is achieve that individual success through the business. And the way we want to do that is by building a business that we're proud of, individually and collectively, a business that we're proud to call our own, the business of your dreams, if you like, right? While living a lifestyle that works for you, the lifestyle you choose. So you're not doing the things you don't want to be doing at the times you don't want to be doing them. You're doing what you want to be doing, what excites you, what engages you, what encourages you to do more of, right? And where you're able to express your best self. That's what we want as co-founders. And if we can support each other in an equal way to achieve that, it's a win-win. So as a co-founder, I experienced lots of different pain points, right? There was always an issue with misalignment. Right? At every level, we want alignment as co-founders, at every single level. And we need to work on that together all the time. And where there's misalignment, cracks start to appear, and those cracks widen, they cause problems. Also, I often get stuck in busyness rather than business, right? Firefighting, dealing with the things I don't want to be dealing with, right? Always in urgent mode, right? Rather than creative, I'm more reactive. You've got then the issue of conflict and tension, inner conflict and tension, as well as conflict between me and my co-founder. Something isn't quite right. We're not quite flowing together, right? And that stems from these two in many ways. And that leads to demotivation, right? I don't feel like doing this anymore. I'm not excited and engaged to go to work. Energy levels dip, right? Focus gets spread thin. Right? We're not focusing on the things we want to focus on. We're getting distracted by the things we don't want to get distracted by. And that affects your growth individually and collectively speaking, right? It's also, the other G I was thinking about was Groundhog Day. It's the same thing every day, right? It's monotonous, it's mundane. And those were my pain points as a co-founder, and hopefully some of those resonate with you too. So when we're talking about a co-founder relationship, what do I look for? I look for us to be resilient. Right? Resilient to the outside world, resilient to the internal conflicts and tensions, where we're able to resolve them, deal with them, and move on, right? We also want to be resourceful, doing more with less. We want to be greater than the sum of our parts, right? And we also want to be reliable, which means we're doing what we said we're going to do. And we're constantly reviewing that, right? We don't need to stick to what we said we would do 2 years ago. We want to constantly review that and upgrade and update what we say we're going to do, and then do that too. And that means we can handle the world. We're greater than the sum of our parts, right? And we're doing what we said we'd do, and we're doing it well. That makes the perfect co-founder relationship, with full alignment, of course, straight through all of that. So what do we need as co-founders, as 50-50 co-founders, that also filters down through to the rest of the team? We need clarity, right? We need clarity on where we're going and how we want to get there. And that will then give us the confidence that we have what we need, right? Attitudinally as well as resourcefully, to get to where we want to get to. And then we're able to commit to that cause, that one direction, right? That's the order of play, because often we ask for commitment. Well, how can I be committed if I'm not confident in what we're doing? And how can I be confident in what we're doing if I'm not clear? And the clarity comes first between the 50-50 co-founders. That's where you find alignment and misalignment equally as important. And then you're confident enough to handle the misalignment, and confident enough that the alignment will get you to where you want to get to. And that's how you're able to commit to that cause. Co-founder relationships that impacted negatively on me, that didn't work out, right, was either a lack of clarity. We weren't exactly sure what we wanted individually, nor where we were aligned and misaligned collectively, right? We weren't confident in ourselves, in each other, and in the business as a whole, and we weren't able to commit fully to figuring out a way of getting to where we wanted to get to. Let's get down to business now, right? We're going to talk strategy, right? And in business terms, think of your business like a stock. So when you buy a stock, what do you want? You want capital growth. So if you buy a stock for $100, you want the value to increase over time in the future. You also want income growth. So you want that $100 stock to drop you $10 in dividends every year, for example, right? That's income growth. And you want tradability, meaning you can sell the stock today, right now, and at any time in the future when you wish to sell it. Those are the three aspects of business. The same thing, you want the value of your business to increase over time. You want the business to give you dividends, i.e. profits, right? And you want to be able to sell the business now if you want to, and in the future. And that's what we call optimized value. And in short, to summarize, it can't be reliant on you or your co-founder, right? It can't be reliant on any individual to maximize the value of tradability. Now, of course, we can talk about impact too. You want the business to be good for you individually as a human being, your family, your friends, your stakeholders, right? The community, society at large, the environment, the world, the universe. Of course, we want it to be good for all these things. But ultimately, the more optimized the value of your business, the more opportunities you have to do good by yourself, your family, your community, society, environment, etc., etc. Because in the end, you got three choices, right? Expansion, doing more of what you're doing now. This is where you expand regionally, cross-sector, more products, you franchise, you create partnerships, or you scale. Pure, right? Or you exit, which is you sell. You float it on the stock market, mergers and acquisitions, you pass it on to your kids. You retire, take a back seat, or you liquidate, right? And then there's innovation, usually around new technology, but you can also look at it as new products, new practices, new processes, right? That's your options. It fits into one of these three categories in the end when you decide what you want to do with the business. But you don't have to make that decision now. What you want to do is increase choices, right? More choice is better than less choice within those three. You want more choice in terms of exit, you want more choice in terms of expansion, and you want more choice in terms of innovation, and then you can decide what to do. And the way to increase the choices you have is through optimized value, which means there's only one North Star. There's only one thing you should be aiming for. And that starts at the strategy of creating a business of optimized value, where there's alignment between the co-founders on where we're going and how we want to get there, and there's no reliance on any individual. And what that means is once the strategy is clear, you put the right structure in, right? The right team to implement the strategy. And when you put the right structure in the right team, they will then put in the right systems of delivery to support them to deliver the strategy. That's the operational level of the business, right? It's the alignment of the strategy and the structure and the systems, leaving you to focus on what business actually is. Yeah, Peter Drucker said this, and he was right. Business is marketing and innovation. Everything else is an expense. Why? He was right, by the way. Marketing is offering value. That's why you're in business, to offer value, right? And you're offering value in exchange for revenue, the fuel to your vehicle, right? So you can keep offering value. And then you want to deepen the value so that you can sustain offering that value. That's what business is about. And that's focusing on your business rather than in your business. But to focus on your business, you want to get this right first. We're talking structure now, right? Second part, once the strategy is clear, optimize value, right? The North Star. You then put the structure in. What is the structure? It's the right people doing the right things at the right time. This starts at the co-founder level. What is the 50-50, right? Where are the loggerheads? Where is the stalemate? Where is the deadlock? And how do we resolve that? And then how do we use our ability, our capability, our character in the best way for the business and the best way for us as individuals to achieve success through our business? And then how do we bring in the right people to support us to deliver on the strategy? That's what the structure is about. And that's part two, once the strategy is clear and once the strategy is aligned between the two co-founders. If you don't have a clear strategy, how are you bringing in the right people? Because the right people have to be aligned to the strategy too, right? That's where your culture comes from. They want to believe in the strategy and be clear on the strategy and be confident that they can deliver that strategy so that they can commit to doing so. We can also look at structure through the 7 pillars. So every business, whether you're Sam's Kebabs or Google, has 7 pillars to it. The complexity is all that changes. And I'll go through it real quick. Admin, your legal structure, your governance, right? Who does what? Who decides what? Who signs off on what? How is the organization? What is the foundation, the infrastructure of the organization, right? Then you've got your brand. This is where your strategy sits because it's based on your vision, the legacy you want to create, your values, right? Your mission, the venture, your purpose, any of those things and all of those things put together, that defines your brand because that's how you're going to position yourself, right? What do you believe? What are you telling the world? What do you want them to believe? Once that's clear, you can then find people that are aligned to that. And that people plus brand equals culture, right? It's down at the belief level because we act out what we believe, right? So you want people to act out what we believe, to act it out, to behave in that way, that's true and that's possible. And that's where you have your strong culture. So you got your people pillar, HR, hiring, recruiting, learning and development. Then you got your finance, your ABCs, accounts, budgets, and cash flow, right? Operations, supply chain, delivery, risk management. Then you got your marketing. That's your customer development, your product development, and your promotional campaigns and your promotional activity. And then you got your sales, which is where you're bringing in the revenue, your aftercare, right? And where you can forecast so you can prepare the rest of the business for future sales too. That's your 7 pillars. So you can look at the structure from this perspective as co-founders 50-50, right? You want to own the brand 50-50. You want alignment here. But then you've got 6 pillars that you can split. 3 pillars each. You can even divide the pillars into sub-pillars, right? I categorize them into 3 sub-pillars each. And you can read about that on some of the material that we've put online. And you can split those. And then you can bring in the right team and delegate the accountability in each of those pillars and sub-pillars. And that's where you get onto systems. And systems follows the same model. Because when you know what each pillar needs, you can then build systems of delivery to support that pillar to deliver your strategy. And that's where we have strategy, structure, and systems all aligned, allowing you to focus on your business, which is the marketing and the innovation. To summarize, what are we talking about here? We're talking about a culture of responsibility, right? Leadership, starting a business, building a business. You're going into the unknown, unexplored territory, right? The unfamiliar domain, which means things are going to happen that you weren't prepared for, you weren't expecting, and you want to be able to respond to that. And the culture of responsibility comes when there's a clear strategy aligned to the structure, the right people doing the right things at the right time, with systems of delivery to support that team. That's where you're best able to respond to the unknown and work towards your vision, your legacy, and your purpose. And to ensure a culture of responsibility, you want a structure of accountability where everybody knows what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how we're going to do it. And once you have all that in place, you end up with everybody on the same page, starting at the co-founders, right? A fish rots from the head down. Starting at the co-founder level, alignment right through the organization. Everybody on the same page where we're clear on what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how we're going to do it. We're confident that we have what it takes to do that, and we're committed to the cause. I'm Moe Choice. Thank you so much for listening. Take care of yourselves. Peace.